Hey there, and welcome to the Engaging Niche HCP podcast. I'm your host, Jason Fair, and I'm excited because this is the last episode for 2023. And as a resource provider for this episode, I wanted to break down my recent newsletter. I just pushed this out last week, and it's got tons of great resources. So if you're an HCP marketer and you're looking to unleash success in 2024, well, I've got some things that you hopefully will carry on with you for your planning and your initiatives for next year. And let's get into it without further ado, specifically around, first off is conference marketing. And obviously it's a big impact for our clients in this industry. As it happens, our team and myself ended up going to about 16 different conferences. I put it here in the newsletter for LinkedIn, and that's what the resource here is up on the screen. So I'm going to drop all this information in the description below so you can check it out. There's going to be tons of links in there too. Going to share some things that we've done on a lot of webinars. Also, I'm going to share specifically some geofencing tactics and a lot of other tactics. So really, I wanted to be your resource, your guide to help amplify the things that you're doing for next year. And again, for these conferences, went to about 16 of them, had some great conversations with the marketers that we work with, prospects, the sales team. So as you plan out your marketing and also video initiatives for next year, again, I wanted to provide a lot of these resources that hopefully will bring you a lot of value for 2024. And the first one up here is specifically around engaging oncologists digitally. So we executed a webinar. It was in Q4 of this year. And again, I'm going to include this in the description below, but in essence, what we're doing in this webinar is you're going to gain a lot of insights on innovative strategies for digital engagement and education, specifically oncologists using NPI numbers and billing codes. This webinar really unpacks how you can capture a lot of this data. We work with the data providers, several of those, and we mine this data. So all HCPs are required to have NPI numbers, billing codes, right, for financial transactions. We can actually leverage that information to reach oncologists specifically. So if you're planning for like AACR or ASCO for next year, definitely these are some ways that you can amplify things that you can do to engage and influence medical oncologists before you show up to these conferences. And then if you are going to be attending, exhibiting at AACR or ASCO, specifically if you got a product launch, right, you've got data that you're trying to present, some of these tactics in the webinar will help amplify all those. And specifically, it's around geofencing as one tactic, but then also it helps drive booth traffic, but then also post-conference follow-up. The other thing that we're doing and that we did at a lot of the conferences last year, or obviously in 2023, is specifically around strategically capturing video content, right? You want to take advantage of it as much as possible. So if you do have product launches, data that you're releasing, right, you can get your subject matter experts, or even better, right, you can get your key opinion leaders talking about these. And the great thing about this, when we work with clients, we want to get those turned around very quickly so you can get that out post-conference. So really what we're doing is we're creating on-demand videos, right, that can be leveraged post-conference. A lot of times we're also capturing subject matter experts, getting those subject matter experts on camera, answering all those frequently asked questions that come up about your solution, right? So you're creating sales enablement content. We're doing that at a lot of trade shows and conferences. So again, as you plan out AACR or ASCO, definitely some great resources that you can include in the description below that I'll definitely include in there so you can check it out when time permits, obviously. Essentially, the other opportunity I wanted to mention up here is specifically around now hiring. So in my newsletter here up on the screen, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. You can specifically see we've got a ton of different opportunities. And 2023, right? We all know it's been a challenging year for restructuring, for layoffs. I just saw a couple more layoffs happen right here at the end of the year, unfortunately. So heart goes out to all the marketers and then even the sales team, right, that may be laid off because of this situation. So in this newsletter in LinkedIn, I've got a variety of different marketing opportunities from Hologic to Cooper Companies. There's Caris Life, MSD, Grail, In Vivo Scribe. And I actually just posted 3 more jobs recently in the comments section. So if you are a marketer, you're a sales rep, you're looking for opportunities in life science, med tech, and healthcare, well, there's definitely some great opportunities to check out. All these links will be in the description below. Another webinar that we ended up launching last year was really around unlocking conference success, again, for biotech, life science, medtech marketers. And as I was mentioning earlier, we go to a ton of these events. We're strategically looking at a little bit different opportunities for next year, but specifically this webinar unpacks it's like a 20-minute webinar, and really it's looking at an omni-channel approach. So there's 3 easy steps to follow. It's going to really help enable you to squeeze out more ROI for conferences. So the way we look at it, it's very strategically. We look at what pre-conference activities that you should be doing. And you're probably doing some of these, but maybe you're not doing all of them. So definitely recommend checking out that webinar. And then specifically around what you're doing actually at the conference, right? So we've got some great tactics, whether it's the geofencing, whether it's the video I mentioned, the other opportunities around digital out of home. And if you haven't heard of digital out of home, you'll definitely want to check this out. And then the third and final step is obviously, hey, post-conference follow-up. What are you doing with all the badge scans, those great conversations that you're having, right? Well, post-conference is super important, as we all know. So that webinar, again, is about 20 minutes. Check it out if that's something that you wanted to take a look at. And then one of the other final resources that I wanted to share with you specifically around LinkedIn. So we've got a LinkedIn group, put it up here. So it's thought leadership in the space. So if you are in biotech, medical device, diagnostic marketer, we're sharing valuable information, and then also networking opportunities, right? So I'm going to include a link down below so you can definitely check that out as far as a resource when it comes to LinkedIn. It's a great group. We've got close to 600 people in the community. So again, it's a great place to network, share information, provide information, and just build that network. And then the final resource here is specifically one of the tactics that we've been leveraging with great success. And the unique thing about this tactic, and you may have heard of it, it's called geofencing. It's also called event fencing. We do a virtual fence around the trade show. So let's say, for example, you're trying to plan for ASCO or AACR. And as it happens, I just booked my hotel for ASCO yesterday. It's like a historic time because I've never booked this early. Really excited about it. I actually put it on my calendar right when I left ASCO this year. And so kudos to me for booking that hotel. And if you haven't, for ASCO, you definitely want to jump on that. But this tactic specifically, it's a geofencing tactic. So we put a virtual fence around McCormick Place. And then anybody that goes through, so those 30,000 attendees for ASCO, they go through that threshold to know, hey, they're in McCormick Place. It's all based on mobile ID numbers, right? It's all anonymous. Specifically, it's only those people that would be going through that threshold. So it's a great way to stand out. Again, if you have a product launch, if you have data that you're releasing, right? You want to help reinforce whatever you're doing at ASCO. This is a great digital tactic. I'm also going to include a link because ASCO has a lot of sponsorships available. And if you've dug into those sponsorships, you know they're crazy expensive, right? I'm going to link to one of the things I uncovered for ASCO when doing some planning for a client. It's advertising on the ASCO website. It was ridiculous what they wanted. The share of voice was kind of interesting too. But anyways, again, if you're looking for opportunities, geofencing is definitely a more cost-effective way. It's definitely much better than like sponsoring the Wi-Fi or the lanyards at ASCO, right? So digital geofencing is a great way to dominate it during the conference. But what I love about it is 30 days afterwards. So anybody that engages, right, clicks on the ad, we drive them back to your website, we drive them back to your landing page, right? Great way to reinforce again what you're doing from a product standpoint. But specifically 30 days after the conference, everybody knows ASCO is a paralysis analysis, right? There's so much information. There's so many meetings, right? You can only retain so much, right? Most people are retaining 20 to 30%. But if we can re-engage them 30 days after ASCO, right, throughout June and maybe the first part of July, this tactic really helps with that. So we would definitely serve a different ad specifically to these people like 30 days afterwards, right? During the conference, you're trying to promote booth traffic, your data, right? All that information if you have a product theater. But then 30 days afterwards, you're going to change the messaging, right? To specifically get someone deeper down to your sales funnel. So the first step, again, they saw the ad at ASCO, great, they've interacted. What's that next message in your sales process, right? You want to you want to nurture them down your sales process. So geofencing is definitely a great tactic. I'm also going to drop some other links in there as you plan out your initiatives for next year. AACR is something that we're planning for clients as well. Lots of great tactics for that. So as you map out your initiatives, your strategies for next year, hopefully this information has been valuable. If it has, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to continue to provide lots of great information specifically for HCP marketers looking to engage, influence niche HCP. So I hope you have a wonderful holiday, happy New Year's, and a much success for 2024. Bye for now.